this isn't just a matter of collateral damage or a few rogue actors. The Pakistani government has openly supported, shielded, aided some of the world's most dangerous terrorists. Who all are those? We're going to put that out one by one for you. From Osama bin Laden to the very groups that were responsible for 9/11 and 26/11. Pakistan has long been the sanctuary for terror. Pakistan's own leaders have publicly acknowledged the deadly alliance between Pakistani state and terrorists. It's the time the world woke up, took notice of what exactly has happened and stopped pretending that this is just a matter of coincidence. Let's break this down with some of the biggest faces, well, terrorists, and where are you going to find them? Of course, in Pakistan. First on your screens is Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the deadliest terror attack that took place on American soil. What was it? The 9/11. He is the poster boy of the 9/11 terror attack that took place. Bin Laden, the architect. Pakistan not only turned a blind eye but gave him a sanctuary. He wasn't hiding in the mountains. He was living in plain sight, protected by the Pakistani military, the ISI. And despite knowing this, the Pakistani government continued to play, well, guess what? The victim card. Next, let's talk about Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Al-Qaeda terrorist and another 9/11 mastermind. Not only was he a Pakistani guest, but he was captured in Pakistan's city of Rawalpindi. Now, how does a man who happens to be one of the world's most wanted terrorists, end up right under the nose of the Pakistani military? Well, the answer is clear, viewers. It's because Pakistani state and government was complicit. They allowed him to walk freely. Next, I'm going to talk about Abu Zubaydah, Al-Qaeda's mastermind and, well, gatekeeper. He was one of the highest ranking members of Al-Qaeda, a key figure behind 9/11 attacks. And he was not some random foot soldier. He was, in fact, one of the key operatives operating in the shadows. He found a comfortable home in Pakistan. He was captured in Faisalabad in 2002. These, viewers, are just some of the hundreds of terrorists that Pakistan has nurtured. Their defense minister is on record saying that. Osama bin Laden and several others are all there to spread, well, the ideology of hatred as well as the ISIS ideology, all linked back to Pakistan. The question isn't whether Pakistan supports terror. It's how deep do these ties go while Pakistan continues to claim that they are fighting terrorism. The reality is, viewers, that they are nurturing this. They are playing a double game. For years they've been doing so. The world conveniently looked the other way. But is it now time? Isn't it time to now call out what is happening in Pakistan, playing this dangerous game where they are sponsoring terrorists on one end and continuing to play the victim card? And that's the fault line we are exposing right here. And let's get deeper into this dangerous alliance and what's at stake for the world.
In the battle of words, Pakistan's narrative is hollow, lacking real substance and evidence, while India stands firm with undeniable facts and a consistent voice. Let's start with Pakistan's official defense. Their DGMO briefings claim Pakistan is fighting terrorism on its own soil, a mantra they've repeated ad nauseum. But where's the proof? The same Pakistan that hosts terror masterminds like Hafiz Saeed and Zakir Rahman Lakhvi on its soil is hardly a credible defender of peace. Instead of offering accountability, they offer denials with no substance to back them up. Now, contrast that with India's stance. The DGMO in India speaks with clarity and conviction. Their briefings are backed by intelligence and hard evidence, not just empty words. India doesn't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. Every time Pakistan sponsors a terror attack, India responds with precision, holding Pakistan's hand to the flame of accountability. Then there's Shehbaz Sharif, Pakistan's prime minister, who has repeatedly tried to mimic global leaders by making speeches and appearances on the international stage. But his words are like cheap imitations in makeshift tents, with weapons not even used in the conflict and banners of those actually claimed to be used, echoing hollow promises without action. Pakistan's narrative, from their DGMO's briefings to Shehbaz Sharif's stage performances, is falling apart. While India's leadership stands firm, armed with proof and a consistent stance, Pakistan continues to flounder, spinning tales with no proof to back them up.
So before going into this report, viewers, I wanted to talk about what is it that you just saw. We earlier talked about the Pakistani terror factory, which in fact led to Operation Sindoor. India changed the paradigm, its response to terror. But what happened as India pounded Pakistani air bases? Well, all that came out from Pakistan's side was the propaganda and fake narrative. The stark contrast between India's mature response and Pakistan's propaganda is what this report explained to you in great detail. And I'm now going to get my colleague Shiv Arur to talk more about the India narrative and how India is looking to up the game even further. Shiv, you've been covering every aspect of this story. And as we speak today, in India, we are having domestic constituents fighting over facts on ground. How do we deal with that?
The good news, of course, is that India's game right now is predicated on 216 high-resolution images of what Operation Sindoor really created in Pakistan. They are undisputed. These are global images. These are not Indian images. And therefore, everything stems from undeniable proof of what India managed to destroy in Pakistan. That's layer number one. Layer number two is the fact that Pakistan, as you rightly pointed out, its only weapon after having failed to hit India with most of its munitions and drones and missiles, etc., has been launching barrage after barrage of misinformation, propaganda, fake news, which are easily busted. They've been busted even by their own newspapers. They've been busted by, friendly media in the West like Washington Post and New York Times. They've been busted even by some Chinese outlets. So it's that bad. That's how bad the misinformation is. Point number three, the third layer to talk about is Pakistan has hilariously come out with a dossier this time of proof of what they've actually managed to do. A historic milestone in my view, Gauri, because this is actually the first time you're hearing about not India, but Pakistan, putting together a dossier of proof because they're running around, trying to prove what they actually did and what India supposedly did not do. Right on top of this, like the icing on the cake really, is the India's External Affairs Minister who's going to be heading out into the world. He's going to Western Europe initially to brief countries about what India has done. Vikram Misri, the Foreign Secretary, who's also been facing the nation and answering many of those questions in the run-up to Operation Sindoor and during it, is briefing the Parliament panel before those MPs head out to different parts of the world to share details of the Modi doctrine, as it were, and new rules of engagement with Pakistan. So this is a country that sees only misinformation and fake news as its weapon, given that its most advanced weaponry, all of it China supplied, has been completely exposed. The efficacy and efficiency of these weapons have been laid bare, and that's why Ishaq Dar, the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, has been summoned to China as well.
Indeed, we leave it there. Shiv, appreciate you joining us on Fault Lines today as we decode Pakistan's terror factory, the propaganda machinery, all of which has completely failed. Well, viewers, when the bombs fell, the world watched. But behind the headlines, there is in fact a deeper story. A story of Pakistan's continued terror sanctuaries, a false narrative, and a global multilateral aid agency ecosystem that continues to fund the terror factories. Pakistan's narrative was built on shaky ground. It was exposed the moment the world questioned their evidence, their satellite images, all of which failed them miserably. And yet the media circus continued. Pakistan's PR machinery, in fact, also tried to push forth the same propaganda. False, ineffective, and the world refused to buy any of it. But now, in a desperate attempt to maintain more relevance on the global stage, they are mimicking India once again. India has formed teams that will now reach out to all global powers, explain what exactly happened, backed by facts, remember, which are on India's side, whether it is the satellite imagery or whether it's the other details which tell what exactly happened in Operation Sindoor and what is the best that Pakistan can come back with. Well, mimicry coming up with its own set of delegations. But what exactly will they say? The truth is not on their side. But what they do have are those terror factories that are still functioning. And it's up to the world to ensure that those factories need to end. Because terror, remember, is not just a plague that is impacting India. It is impacting the world. And that, in fact, is something that one of the questions that we are putting forth, besides, of course, asking that why exactly Pakistan had to ask for a ceasefire when, according to its own fake machinery, it was on the winning side.